So factoring. Factoring is essentially undoing a multiplication. So you might remember, right, if I ask you, hey, what are the factors of 24? What are the factors of 24? What you're going to tell me are numbers that I can multiply together to get 24. So I'm going to make it even a little bit more specific. And can you give me the pairs of factors of 24? Right? So we could say, well, 1 times 24, that'll get me there. 2 times 12, that's a pair of factors. Multiplication gets me to 24. Right? So there are, in this case, 4 pairs of factors. 4 pairs of integer factors, at least, to multiply us to 24. Oh my gosh, whole numbers, right? Because I guess I could have -4, -6. Okay, well, we're going to be talking about polynomials instead of just numbers. So when we want to factor a polynomial, we want to come up with a way that we write it as a product. So something times something to get us all the way back to, right, the polynomial we started with. So here we go. First off, again, factoring is undoing distributing, undoing multiplication. So let's remember distributing. So 7 times the quantity, 2x plus 5. So if you have this and you're asked to distribute or multiply, right, the 7 multiplies everything on the inside. And I'm going to be kind of specific on that. So it's 7 times the 2x plus the 7 times the 5. Okay. And then, right, we could get 14x plus 35. I wanted to show you this middle step because what comes next is we're going to undo the multiplying. So now let's see what that looks like then for factoring. So here I have the expression 25a plus 30. Well, I see that 5 goes into both 25a and it goes into 30. So what I want to do is rewrite 25a as 5 times something. So 5 times what gets me 25a? Right, so 5a. And 5 times what gets me 30? 6. So since these both now have 5 times something else, what I'm going to do is kind of work backwards. So imagine the one we just did. Where did the 7 start? So we're going to do that with the 5. So the 5 is going to come to the front. And then inside this set of parentheses, I'm going to put those other factors. So a 5a and then plus 6. Okay, so since 5 went into both 25a and 30, that means I could factor out the 5, okay, and then gather up who was left. So your first step in factoring is going to be looking for a common factor. So we'll go ahead and practice with these. And I'll take that step and it's going to annoy you for a while and then I'll stop. And right, it's a helpful way just to see them. So here we go. 4x squared plus 8x minus 12. So what is the factor that goes into each of those terms? Exactly 4. So I'm going to go ahead and write those as 4 times the partner. So 4 times x squared plus 4 times 2x minus 4 times 3. Okay, so they all have that common 4. So what I'm going to do is grab that 4, and I always imagine a fishing rod. I don't know why. So I'm going to grab those 4s, hook them all out. They come out just as a single 4. And then inside the parentheses, I put those partners. So x squared plus 2x minus 3. Right, so this expression that I just have, 4 times the quantity, x squared plus 2x minus 3, is the same. It's just a different way to write it from where we started. So let's look at the next one. I have 6n cubed plus 9n squared plus 15n. Okay, so what is the factor? In fact, we're going to look for the greatest common factor. What's the greatest common factor that goes into all 3 terms? Right, so you probably saw the 3. Do you also see the n? right? So 3n will go into each of those terms. So 6n cubed is 3n times 2n squared, okay, plus 3n. Now I'm doing the 9n squared. 3n times what? To get 9n squared, right, times 3n, and then one more. 3n times what to get 15n? 5. Okay, great. So now they each have a 3n. Just take one of those in the middle term, right? So there's the common 3n. Go ahead and grab those and pull them to the front. There's our common 3n. And then in my parentheses, I take those other pieces. So the 2n squared. I keep the signs, right? Plus 3n plus 5. Okay, well, why don't you take a second, pause, and see if you can get this next one. Okay, so my common factor is 5. So it'll be 5 times negative 2k squared plus 5 times 7k plus, this is important, 5 times 1. You definitely want to have that placeholder there. Okay, there's our common 5. Go ahead and factor it out to the front. And then in the parentheses, you're going to get negative 2k squared plus 7k plus 1. Now, before I leave, so this is totally fine. I'm going to go ahead and put a circle around it because that's totally fine. Circle my answers. Okay, but a lot of times, right, we do not like to have this negative like right after the parentheses. So one of the ways we can get away without that is I can go back up to my original. So I'm going to start it over. I'll write it up top here, okay? So I'm going to go back to where I started. Negative 10k squared plus 35k plus 5. Now, instead of factoring out 5, I'm going to factor out negative 5. Okay, so let's think about how that's going to be different. So if I think of my negative 10k squared, that is negative 5 times what? Right, so negative 5 times positive 2k squared. Then my next term would be a negative 5. What would the other partner have to be so that if I multiplied them, I would get positive 35k? It'd have to be another negative, right? So the negative times a negative. So how about a negative 7k? And then finally, 5 is negative 5 times negative 1. Sorry, I ran out of room there. Okay, now look, I've got that common negative 5. Go ahead and factor that one out. So negative 5 common out in front. And now in the parentheses, okay, I'm going to have 2k squared minus 7k minus 1. How do you suppose we could check to see if we got that right? To make sure that this, right, negative 5 times the quantity 2k squared minus 7k minus 1 is equivalent to negative 10k squared plus 35k plus 5. Exactly, right? We could just distribute our negative 5 and make sure we got back. Now, don't do that because then you'll just undo all the factoring you just did, but it's a great way to check. So that's how we factor if we're just taking out the common factor. Now, another strategy that we're going to learn for polynomials is called factor by grouping. So this is a strategy when we factor a polynomial that has 4 terms. Okay, so here's how it works. You're going to group the first 2 terms and the second 2 terms together. Okay? So, and I'm going to group them. Don't use parentheses because that can somehow try to be a multiplication. So I use these little boxes around the bottom. So my first 2 terms and my second 2 terms. Okay? And it just sort of keeps them in these little groups. Now, within each group, we are going to factor out the greatest common factor. Now, hopefully, right, because it's a math problem, after you've removed the greatest common factor, the stuff that got left behind in the parentheses are going to match up. Those 2 factors, right? So now, the 2 factors then are the greatest common factor that you took out and the common stuff in, right, the parentheses. So let me show you how it works. So let's do this first one. I have u cubed plus 7u squared plus 4u plus 28. So 4 terms, 1, 2, 3, 4. Group your first two and group your second two. Within your first group, find the greatest common factor. So between u cubed plus 7u squared, what's the greatest factor that goes into both? Right, so u squared, I'm ignoring the 4u and the 28 for now. I'm just looking at the first two terms. So I took a u squared out of those two terms. It leaves behind, right, u plus 7. Okay, so that was my first grouping. So now I'm going to do this. Now I'm done with that for a second. So now I'm going to look at the second group. So I have positive 4u plus 28. So I want to look at the greatest common factor there. So what goes into 4u and what goes in and into 28? So that would be, right, a 4. So I'm going to factor out a 4. And I'm going to factor it out positive. Let's see, it looks like I have an example where we factor out a negative in just a second. So factor out the 4 and what gets left? 4 times what to get 4u? Well, that'll be a u. 4 times what to get 28? That'll be a 7. Okay. So that was first step 1. Step 2, we're on step 3. Hopefully, after you've removed the greatest common factors, the stuff in the parentheses match. And they do. Right? So there's that common factor, right? Just like above where we had, right, our common factor was 4. There was a 4 in all 3 spaces. Well, in this case, I've got a u plus 7 in the 2 different spots. So I'm going to factor out that u plus 7. And then in the second set of parentheses, remember what went there? Yeah, right, the stuff that you took out. So a u squared plus a 4. And that is the factored form. So this u plus 7 times u squared plus 4 is the same thing as the 4 terms we started with. Okay, let's do another one. So 4 terms, 1, 2, 3, 4. Group the first two, group the second two. Okay. Now ignore the second two. See if I can cover that up. Okay, greatest common factor, I think that's just making it worse. Greatest common factor of 6x squared plus 8x. So that'll be a 2x. What gets left behind? So 2x into 6x squared is 3x. 2x times 4 would get me that, so 3x plus 4 on the inside. So remember, distribute, make sure. Okay, so now I've done the greatest common factor out of the first group. Here we go to the second. What's the greatest common factor of 15x plus 20? So that'll be the plus 5. Again, it's only going to work if I leave behind what was in my parentheses, but you can't do anything illegal, right? You can only do, right, it can only be true. So when I factor it out, right, we just have to factor and then hope. So 5 times what to get 15x? So 3x. 5 times what to get 20? Plus 4. Yay, they're the same. Factor out the common factor. And I don't know why I started putting these squiggly lines under my common factor. So they squiggle and tug them to the front. And then the second set gets those greatest common factors that you found. So a 2x plus a 5. Again, you can check by foiling the 2 binomials you got and make sure you get back where you started. Okay, why don't you go ahead and pause and see what you can do on this next one without me, okay? You can skip ahead to the answer. So greatest common factor is 2x squared. 2x squared leaves behind x plus 5, 3x plus 15, so factor out a 3, that'll be an x plus 5. Oh, good, they're the same. Factor out the x plus 5. Leaves behind 2x squared plus 3. Okay, last one. Okay, so go ahead and join me here. So group your first two and group your second two. Now when I write my grouping for my second one, I really want to make sure that I have the minus 8x there. Okay. Again, just try to ignore. We're just looking at the first two. So the common factor will be 2x squared. So that would be an x plus 3. Okay, so now, breath. I'm going to look at my second group. I want to factor from my second group so that, right, I get an x plus 3. So, right, maybe you see that 8 goes into negative 8x and negative 24. But think about what the better way to factor that out would be. Right, we want to factor out a negative 8. Because a negative 8 factored out of a negative 8x leaves behind positive x. Just do a quick check. Negative 8 times x, negative 8x. Okay, and a negative 8 out of negative 24. So when you're factoring out, it's really a division. So if you're having trouble thinking, well, what got left behind? When you factor it out, you're doing a little mini division. So negative 8x divided by negative 8, that's the x. Negative 24 divided by negative 8, right? Positive 3. Oh, well, looky there. Same. Pull it out to the front. Grab your common factors. So, I am going to stop here for the students who are in my class because we're just starting. However, that 2 times x squared minus 8, since 2 goes into both terms, you could factor that 2 out, right? So I'm going to move it all the way to the front, so I have 2 times x plus 3. So now that this is the 2 coming out of these first two, like we practiced way up at the top. So that'll be an x squared minus 4. So that's an awesome way. Now, if you've gone a little bit farther and otherwise meet me in a couple of days, we can factor this x squared plus 4, or I'm sorry, x squared minus 4 into x plus 2 times x minus 2. Everybody else just kind of tags along. Okay, so again, you can always check your factoring by multiplying your factors, but remember the factored form is the answer, and it is just an alternate way to write the same expression.